I discovered my husband was only with me for my family's money. Hey Reddit, I honestly don't even know where to start. And my name is Sarah, and I've been married to my husband Mark for 3 years. For the most part, our marriage seemed perfect. At least, that's what I thought. Everyone around us seemed to admire our relationship. We just celebrated our 3-year anniversary, and we'd even renewed our vows. Mark cried during the ceremony, telling me I was the best thing that ever happened to him. We had a seemingly perfect life, but that was before I discovered the truth. And I had been away on a girls' trip to New Orleans with my best friends, which we had been planning for months. And we were supposed to be enjoying the spa, the rooftop bars, and everything we had been looking forward to. But then, just 2 days in, my friend Emily came down with food poisoning and Grace had an emergency work call. So, we decided to cut the trip short. Anna and I figured this was the perfect chance to surprise Mark. I knew he missed me when I was away, and I was excited to see his face light up when I walked in early. So, I hopped on a flight back, grabbed his favorite pizza and craft beer, and headed straight home. I was so excited to surprise him, but as soon as I entered through the garage, I noticed something off. I could hear Mark talking upstairs, but I assumed he was just on the phone with a friend. And I was about to call out to him when I overheard something that stopped me dead in my tracks. Marriage is a complete nightmare, bro. I regret this every single day. If it wasn't for her family's money, I'd be gone already. I froze in place, and over my heart felt like it was going to explode. I didn't know how to react. It didn't stop there, though. He continued, and almost as if he didn't care who heard him. And the only good thing about this whole situation is that I don't have to worry about rent or bills anymore. I get everything I want, away, and she doesn't even know it. I stood there for what felt like an eternity, my mind racing. I thought it was a joke, maybe a bad one, but the more he spoke, the clearer it became. Mark didn't love me, not really. He was using me for my family's money. However, the lifestyle, everything, I somehow managed to slip out of the house without him noticing. And they sat in my car for over 2 hours crying my eyes out. I didn't know what to do. I knew I had to play this carefully. So I did what I had to do, went back inside like everything was fine. I kissed him hello, pretending nothing was wrong. But inside, I was crumbling. First updating, thank you to everyone who reached out with support and advice. I've been reading all your comments and they've helped me feel less alone in this situation. It's been a week since I overheard Mark, and things have been, complicated. I decided to play this carefully, so I'm not confronting him yet. I've been making a plan. The first thing I did was secure my finances. I opened a new bank account, changed all my passwords, and set up extra security measures. I slowly started moving small amounts of money into that account, and just enough that it wouldn't raise suspicion. It felt strange, but I knew it was necessary. Mark has been acting like everything is fine. He keeps texting me sweet messages saying how much he misses me. But I can see the cracks now. The night after I returned, he suggested we take a reconnection weekend to a nice resort. I agreed, but instead of the expensive hotel he wanted, I suggested we go to my family's cabin in the woods. He was visibly disappointed, but he quickly tried to cover it up. When we got to the cabin, I was more observant than ever. Mark spent the entire week on his phone, always sneaking off to the dock to get better signal. At one point, I overheard him talking to someone. Here he was talking about how he was stuck. Here and how he would make it up to someone when he got back. I couldn't hear everything, but it was clear he was planning something with someone I wasn't part of. That night, I checked our bank account and saw a $150 withdrawal for some work stuff. But the problem was that Mark had been nowhere near a work meeting that day. I started to get suspicious. The next day, when we got back, I found a charge for $50 at a bar, one that was miles away from our house. I confronted him about it, and he just shrugged it off, claiming it was nothing. And I've seen a lot of comments asking why I haven't confronted him yet. The truth is, I want to make sure I have everything in place before I confront Mark. I'm trying to secure my finances and gather evidence without tipping him off. And as for why I'm still living with him, it's part of the plan. I'm trying to act normal so he doesn't suspect anything. Second updating, I didn't expect so many comments. A lot of you, thank you again for all the support. A lot of you asked about my next steps, and I've been taking it one step at a time. And things have escalated in a way I didn't expect, but it's also given me more clarity about what I need to do. So, have I been digging into our finances more? And let me tell you what I found is disgusting. Mark has been withdrawing money from our joint account, and not just a little, over the last few months. And he's taken almost $100 without telling me. I don't know where it's going, but it's clear he's been planning something behind my back. His behavior is getting weirder by the day. He's been overly affectionate, almost too affectionate, apologizing for things he never used to care about. The sudden love bomb is honestly just making me more suspicious. Last night, things took an interesting turn. Mark told me he was going to work late, but when I checked our credit card statement this morning, there was a $200 charge at a fancy restaurant. I confronted him and he just blamed it on a work dinner he forgot to mention, which I told him I had a meeting that night, which I didn't, and he practically begged me to stay. His desperation was palpable, and I knew I had to take action. I'm getting closer to the truth, but for now, I'm playing the long game. And I've secured my own bank account, made sure my lawyer has the evidence, and I'm preparing to confront him soon. Some of you have asked if I've spoken to my family about this. I haven't yet. My dad really likes Mark, and I don't want to break his heart until I'm absolutely sure of what's going on. And I'm planning to confront Mark first and make sure I have everything secured before I tell anyone else. Final updating, that's finally happening. I can't believe I'm writing this, but I confronted Mark last night, and it went exactly as I planned. I had all the evidencing, the unexplained withdrawals, the text messages, and everything in between. We were sitting at dinner when I finally asked him about it. He was practically glowing, thinking he had me fooled, but when I asked him if he remembered what he said about our marriage, his face went completely pale. When I played the recording of him calling me a money wife, His eyes went wide, and for a moment I could see the panic setting in. He tried to talk his way out of it, saying it was all a misunderstanding. But it was clear he was lying. I calmly told him that I had already spoken with a lawyer and I was filing for divorce. His world crashed right there. The divorce was quick. Mark fought for half of everything, but my lawyer presented evidence that made his claims laughable. He walked away with much less than he expected, but still more than he deserved. He'd even put up much of a fight after the truth came out. His final play was to beg for me to take him back. But by then,
I told him I was done. I told him, already thrown this marriage away.
I'm just taking back what's mine. Since then, I've been focusing on myself. I've moved into a new apartment, one that's all mine. And for the first time in a long time, I feel free. And I'm rediscovering who I am without him, and it feels good.